We're throwing darts with each one of these draft profiles, Cravante, and today we get to talk about another quarterback, Jackson Dart, out of Ole Miss. You may have heard of him. He's played for a little while.
Yeah, he's definitely played for some time, and he was a full time starter at least the last 3 years. So yeah, he has some stats and has some experience behind him.
Real quick on Jackson Dart, he is 6'2", by the way. 2020 Gatorade National Player of the Year, led the nation with 4,691 passing yards and a Utah State record 67 passing touchdowns as a senior. In 2021, he was at USC, played in 6 games with 3 starts, 9 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. 2022, all 13 games, 12 starts with 2,974 yards, 20 touchdowns, 11 INTs. 2023 started all 13 games. This was when he got to Ole Miss. He had 3,364 yards, 23 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 8 rushing touchdowns. In 2024, he was first team All SEC, set school record 10,617 pass yards, 12,115 yards of total offense, led the FBS with 10.8 yards per attempt,
Mhm.
4,774 total yards, and third with 4,279 passing yards, as well. His father was a safety at Utah. So there you go, Cavante. Jackson Dart. I know we talk about Cam Ward, Shador, maybe 1, 2. I guess Jackson Dart maybe is quarterback 3. What do you think?
Um, I guess it depends on how you feel about Milrow, and we'll get it to his profile as well. But he's in okay. So obviously, so is Cam Ward small and it's a small drop. Shador, then I think it's a bigger drop. Then Dart and Milrow, I think are in the same class. Um, but um, Dart is 3 time full time starter in the spread and RPO heavy offense at Ole Miss. Um, he has an above average arm as far as arm strength, which is always good. Which is always good, especially at the next level. Flashes of athleticism, from time to time, have being able to make plays with his feet. Now, that's not gonna be his calling card, but he can do it from time to time because he is primarily a pocket passer. But every now and then he could get out the gate. Um, Now, if we flip some things, accuracy, which is the flip side of Shador Sanders, accuracy, it's not spectacular. Um, he played in the offense with Ole Miss, like I was saying, it's a spread RPO heavy. It could be a little gimmicky, a little gimmicky offense. Pro as far as like pro style ish. That's going to be an adjustment for him at the next level. At the next level, at times he can take a lot of unnecessary risks as a passer. But I feel like all the quarterbacks, especially this year, are outside of Shador. Decision making can be questionable, as far as ball placement and the passes that they choose to make. Outside of Shador, Shador hit on 70%, but everybody else is like, it's so so.
Where, well, who does he compare to? Because I really don't know. There could be a myriad of people like with a lot of these quarterbacks. Who does he compare to you, Cravante, and where does he go? Is he around 1 QB?
You're not gonna believe this, but
Oh boy. Oh boy.
so I got two. One, we're familiar with both of them, but they are on two very separate sides of the spectrum where we talk about quarterback play. And which also is a testament to where Dart is going to end up in his career. We have Bo Nix and we have Jared Stidham as comparisons.
Ooh.
Um, Now, of course, obviously, Bo Nix he's played football a very long time, so he has stats and a lot of experience, which is things that you like from a young quarterback going into the professional ranks. But Jared Stidham, we see his ceiling. Like this is kind of telling you where Jackson Dart's floor and ceiling is. Ceiling, at best, he'd probably be similar to a Bo Nix. But on the other end, he could be around a Jared Stidham, which is, you take that which you will.
What do you think about these quarterbacks who played all these years? Because we saw with Jaden Daniels, even Caleb Williams played a good amount of years. Bo Nix played forever. We see guys now, maybe they may go to a couple different schools, change conferences, but the level of play, it seems to translate better, at least at quarterback, when you play multiple years. Look at Anthony
I,
Richardson. He played like, what, 5 games?
I don't talk about Anthony Richardson, man, but um, I think competition is important, which is why it's always mentioned in scouting reports. I think at some point you have to go through the SEC. It would not have to, but at some point, if you go up against SEC level competition, that those games are the ones where it's like, all right, this is NFL level talent. This is a game we need to look at because this is how it's going to look at the next level. Because SEC, it is what it is. The best conference overall in football, even though the Ohio State won the championship, but as a whole, SEC, that's the best conference. And when that's what's in all scouting reports, when they talk about level of competition, when you in the SEC, nobody talks about, oh, did they play up to competition? You know what I'm saying? Like that, because you in the SEC. It's NFL level competition every week. So the SEC is I guess is a leg up that's not a disadvantage when it comes to like level competition because that is the best to you that college football has to offer.
All right, Devontae, let's play America's favorite game show. Where do they go? Where do you see Jackson Dart going? And like I said, we think Cam or Shador probably will be the first two taken, but like you said, Shador could fall. So does someone get goofy and take maybe Jackson Dart before Shador, or does he go after?
I I heard something crazy. Excuse me, I heard something crazy the other day. Somebody had a recent mock draft and had 4 quarterbacks in the first round. 4. And I'm like, I don't see how, because I don't think any of these quarterbacks on the back end is worth like jumping up out the second round back into the first round or any of the outside. If Shador takes a tumble, that would be the only quarterback that I would trade back from the second round into the first round to grab Shador Sanders. But I think it's going to be Cam Ward, Shador Sanders. I'm thinking right now, I think Shador's going to fall. So he's probably going to go to the late teens, even where the Steelers are. If he goes to 21 to the Steelers, I'm not sure Jaxson Dart gets drafted in the first round. Now, if Shador goes 9 to the Saints, I think the Steelers are going to have a decision to make. Either they're going to take Jaxson Dart or they're going to take Jalen Milroe at 21. Then they'll make it 3 quarterbacks in the first round. But I don't see 4. I think 4 is an absolute stretch. And it really all depended on where Shador goes. If Shador falls, I think it's only going to be 2 quarterbacks in the first round. If Shador goes early, I think it'll be 3. If Shador goes top 10, I think it'll be 3 quarterbacks. And that'll be the Jaxson Dart, Milroe area.
I got round 2 pulled up because I could definitely see that happening, Cavante. And then you look around 2. The top 2 teams could use a quarterback: Browns, Giants. Then you go down to, I don't know what the Raiders are doing, but maybe they might take someone. Then you got the Saints again at 40. He played
Sure.
at Ole Miss.
Sure.
That would be a nice little coming home story. Even the Jets in the second round. There are a lot of ways this could go. I mean, and the Colts at 45. I would not rule out the Colts, Cavante, being one of those teams to maybe take a quarterback.
Man, the Colts has so much potential, man. So much potential, but we did a profiles on Anthony Richardson. We said he was raw and he's gonna take some time, and him missing his first year and missing the bulk of his first year. Now he's been set back. You know what I'm saying? And
Because if
then
they
they
don't
got
get it done, they all getting fired this year. They
everybody
cleaning
got
house.
to go. Everybody clean house. Everybody got to go. because it's terrible up there. Everybody got to go, but you hate to bring a young quarterback into a situation like that to where as though they're gonna have to deal with another head coach, GM, offensive coordinator, and all that. Like, you shouldn't want to bring a quarterback into those situations, but these teams need quarterbacks, and it ain't that many of them, so it is what it is.
And maybe the Dolphins, Cravante. How long is Tua going to be there? I mean, it's just questions that we got to ask, right?
Absolutely, I can't believe they paid him to this day. I can't believe they paid him that big, long term, big money and long term contract. I can't believe they paid him, but um, I think these guys will get picked in the second round. I think Milrow and Dart probably get picked in the second round, but again, it all depends on Shador. Shador goes early. One of them's going to go in the first round, and then the other goes in the second round. That's how I see it unfolding.
You got Seattle. Remember, they picked up Sam Darnold, but how long is that going to last? So teams could look to take quarterbacks in the first. I think by round 2, you'll see all 4 of the guys we'll talk about taking.
De-
But
de-
Cavante,
definitely,
uh,
definitely.
final thoughts on Dart, and if he's there, would you take him in round 1 or you take him in round 2 as a GM and let the people know how to keep up with this video?
Straight up, no. Like I said, this quarterback class is very underwhelming. I'm not taking. I don't feel great about any of these guys on the top end of the first round. I think Shador is a really good talent. I think Cam Ward is a good talent. I think Jaxson Dart has the potential of a good talent, but good in the first round, I need elite. I need great. I need game changing, and it's not a lot of that out of this quarterback class. So I can't, like, I can see that Steelers possibly pulling the trigger, but if that's the case, I'm going special and I'll take Milrow. I'll take somebody who can do the things like a Lamar Jackson or a Jalen Hurts or a Jaden Daniels can do. If I'm going to go first round, I got to go special. Jaxson Dart doesn't give special to me, so he's more of a second round guy. If you ask me,
We shall see, Cravante. Let the people know what they need to do because we are elite here on the Flex Zone.
tap in, guys. We love the engagement. Tell us some guys that you may know that we haven't covered and that you think we should do a draft profile on. Also, like, subscribe, and please hit that bell for notifications because these draft profiles are coming in hot.
Just like Jaxson Dart throwing darts, the Flex Zone dropping bombs, and we'll be back with more draft profiles. Cravante will be with me here on the Flex Zone.